Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life, and today we are kicking off the week 18 reading vlog. So I have two books to carry over from last week. I've got The Plastic Magician on my Kindle by Charlie N. Holmberg, which I think I'm 86% of the way through, so I've got just under an hour left in this. Which will be nice. That'll finish off my divination prompt for the OWLs. And then I can get into my last physical read. The other carryover I have is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which is my charms prompt. I am over halfway now. I've got, I think, just under 13 hours. No, I've got 11 and a half hours left. And the last book, which I should be able to start today because I'm almost done with The Plastic Magician, is Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. This is my Care of Magical Creatures prompt. And I only need to get about 25 pages into this, and then I need to read like 125 pages tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday to finish off before the end of day on Thursday, which is when the Owl's Magical Readathon ends. So looking forward to diving back into this. This is a reread for me. I made it up to the fourth book in this series, and then the fifth and sixth weren't published at that point. So last year I started my reread of these books. I originally listened to them on audiobook through my library, and then decided that I wanted to finish the series and I wanted to do a reread with the physical books. So I purchased them all, and I am getting around to my rereads very slowly. I think I picked up Falling Kingdoms, which is the first book for the NEWTs last year, which was in August. So I'm not rereading these as quickly as I had hoped, and I'm almost afraid that I again forgot like what happened in the first book, but I think I'm good. I've read it twice now, so something stuck. But looking forward to jumping back into this. This right here is my marker for where I need to get for the day. So, very exciting. My last three books for the readathon. This is the last week of the OWLs with a short week. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Thursday is the end of the month, which is the end of the Owls. And then on Friday, which is the 1st of May, starts the Finish-a-thon Readathon, which is hosted by my friend Darshell over at Books and Planners. And that is a readathon aimed for the whole month of May, aimed around finishing or getting further in series that you have ongoing. So I've got big plans to finish off some series this year. One of my goals for reading is to finish at least 6 series that I already have ongoing, and May will definitely help with that for sure. So that's, I think, about it for reading. Today is also my dog Ronan, the big white dog. It is his 5th birthday, and that makes me so happy and so sad at the same time. I didn't bake him a cake or anything. I didn't get him any toys, mostly because he kind of has a sensitive tummy, and I don't want to change up his food or like introduce something that he wouldn't normally have, because then I have to deal with the consequences. And they've got so many toys that I can't even justify bringing another one into the house. So for his birthday, he's just gonna get lots of puppy snuggles and things like that. The weather can't decide what it wants to do today. It was pouring down rain earlier, and it's like sunny and cloudy. The sun keeps hiding behind clouds and it's blustery, so it's just a typical spring day in Washington. But I think that's about it for the moment. I've almost got everything squared away. If you watched last week's vlog, you know that Skylar and I got married on Saturday, but our actual wedding with our friends and family we had to postpone due to the virus. So I've been emailing where we are rebooking our venue, and I think we finally have everything with the contract sorted so that we can sign that. So I've been emailing the contact today and getting things sorted for that. Hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow we'll have everything wrapped up and we'll know when, like for sure, that we are going to have our ceremony with our friends and family and our reception and stuff. Should be August 29th. That's the day we have locked in right now. Here's hoping that things calm down over the summer. We're beating cold and flu season by having it in August. So we should be in the clear this time, hopefully. That way we can like reach out to our photographer again and see if she is already booked that day or what she can do. And then inform family and friends. I'll probably wait until July to tell family and friends that we have rebooked and when. That way we can kind of get past these spring months and know better of where we are. Maybe like late June, let them know, but we'll see. I just practiced my violin, and I also emailed WGU for readmission to the accounting program. I did take a 6-month break at the end of November, just because I hadn't had a break and I was not feeling very motivated in my studies and things like that. So I needed time off, plus the whole wedding planning thing, getting through Christmas and things like that. And I was supposed to go to Scotland in May. So I was planning to make it through all of these things and start back up in June. Didn't exactly work out as planned, but I'm ready to get back into school and get going with my degree. So there's that. I think that's it for an update. I might check in when I finish The Plastic Magician, depending on when and where I finish it. I'll probably be in bed tonight though, so I probably won't check in. But if I'm in a decent state, I will let you know. If not, I'll definitely check in tomorrow and let you know how I'm feeling about this. So far, I'm really liking, I was concerned that because this follows a different character than the original trilogy in the Paper Magician series, that I wasn't gonna like it because it was gonna take like too much time to get used to the character and all this stuff. But it's a very familiar setting. We have characters from the original trilogy that have come in and out of the story. And at first I didn't like Elvie because, I don't know, she just had your typical, like, I'm not like most girls quirks and like, I'm not a girly girl sort of thing. And I don't really like reading that because like you can be not like most girls, but it doesn't need to be broadcast and things like that. But I am liking her a lot. I'm liking the romance in this. And I think learning about a different form of the magic system is really intriguing as well. It'd be fun if the author did side stories from the original trilogy of each one of the magic types in this world. It's all to do with like magic around man-made material. So you've got folders which can manipulate and use magic with paper. You've got polymakers, which are plastic, cypers, which are rubber, gaffers, which is glass, and oh gosh, what's the other one? It's metal. Cyper? Maybe. I don't remember what that one's called. I think there's 5 of them though. But it's really interesting to read about, and just like the things that people can do and enchant with the objects and make them work as magic. I think is really cool. It's set in like London in 1901, I think is when this takes place. So it's that setting of London, but with this magical element to it, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. And then in Final Empire, I haven't really done a lot of listening today, so I don't have much of an update as to my last update, which would have been in last week's vlog. But I like that Vin is enjoying court life. This book Final Empire is a lot different than what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to mostly follow like male protagonists. So I was intrigued to find out that we have a male and a female main protagonist. And one interesting thing about me is I don't like things set in dry climates, because I read to escape, and it's just like not appealing to me. Like, I didn't like Aladdin growing up because it takes place in a desert. Like, I always prefer forests and mountains and by the water and things like that. And the Final Empire is kind of like that deserty landscape. It's completely covered in ash pretty much, but it doesn't feel that way. So I'm pleasantly surprised that I actually like this kind of world. I'm also just really enjoying more about the world building. We're learning more about the different metals and how some impact internal versus external factors within your body. And we're learning more about the push and pulls and the metal opposites and things, the ones that are the push and the pull. And I think it's fun that Vin gets to experience learning about the different metals and the different ways she can utilize the metals from people who are actually experts in like one sort of metal usage. I don't remember what they're called. I know the Mistborns are the people who can utilize all of the metals. But I also like that it's not just about a rebellion. I like the court intrigue and the learning and plotting and getting to see her wear pretty dresses and like flirt with guys and things like that as well. It's a really nice combination that I'm enjoying. So definitely liking my reading right now. I just need to get through it in the next couple of days so I can be an alchemist. Well, be on my way to being an alchemist. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. So I will definitely check in when I've got a further update for you all. There's a puppy dog under my desk and I don't know why. What you doing, FIFA? You usually only go under there when you're scared. Oh, bye, puppy dog. There's your face again. Hi, baby girl. You're not scared. Why is Sissy under my desk? I don't know either. Did you have a good birthday? Did you get lots of snuggles? So many people wished you happy birthday on Facebook. I know, it's crazy, huh? Can you even believe that you're 5 years old now? How does it feel? Just like you're still a ready to go puppy dog, huh? Last night I finished The Plastic Magician, and I liked the ending. I liked how it wrapped up. Just nice and neat and simple. I still think it would be fun, as I said yesterday, to have side stories branching off for following characters that pursue each different kind of magic. And I can't remember yesterday if I said the metalworking one appropriately, but it's Smelter. I think I might have said Cypher twice. But I enjoyed Plastic Magician. I'm glad that I wasn't disappointed by the story and comparing it to the rest of the trilogy, which also means that I have officially completed my first ongoing series that I had prior to 2020, which is a really good feeling. So I've got 5 more to go to complete my goal by the end of the year, but I'm glad to finally have one down. I listened to more of The Final Empire last night, but not much more after my check-in, and I've only listened to just a tiny bit this morning, so really not much more that I can update you on there. And then I also started Rebel Spring last night. I made it to page 20 something, 2019. Almost page 20. And I am liking being back in this world. I was forgetting some things, like there's a character that I can't remember if she was in the first book. Her name's Lysandra, and I couldn't remember who she was related to, but she's just a rebel. And I couldn't remember and if an event had happened at the end of Falling Kingdoms, and at the beginning of the book it explained that it didn't. So now I think I'm back on track and I know what's going on. So today's section, I need to get through chapter 11, so that would stop on page 152. So I've got just under 140 pages to read tonight. No, that's not true. I have over... No, that's... I can't do math right now. I've got just over 125 pages to read tonight. So just under 140, because I'm supposed to read 125 pages a day, and I don't like to stop in the middle of chapters. So I just decided to go to the next closest chapter, which was the end of chapter 11. So we've got that. So excited to see where things go. I just found out today about the Peeves the Poltergeist Fantastic Readathon going on in the Harry Potter and the Order of the Planners Facebook group that happens in May. I think it starts the 11th. I think it's the 11th through the 17th. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to participate in it. Mostly because, I'll be honest, I don't have enough room to draw in another spread on the page that I'm using for my April and May readathons. Also, though, because in May I'm focusing so much on finishing out some more series. So the prompts are, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a separate readathon TBR for this. I've still got some time to decide if I'm going to do this or not. But there's 5 prompts. You have Peeves, which is a book with a non-human creature. Fred and George is a book with twins. Marauders is a book with a map. Golden Trio is a book where a character breaks the law. And Neville/Ginny, which is a book with friendship. I might have books that already fit into those prompts that I'm planning on reading, all except for the Fred and George twins one. But we'll see. I don't really want to be tied down too tightly to a specific, like, I have to read these books during this time. And I don't just want to, like, put half effort into a readathon either. So I'm still deciding whether or not I want to participate in that. But that's about it right now. It's Tuesday, which means I have my lesson today. I need to practice one more time before I have my lesson because I only got one in this week. And I think that's about it right now. We're probably gonna relax after my lesson and just watch some TV. That's typically our Tuesday night. And then I'll read when I get into bed. But that's about it. So I probably maybe won't check in again today, but I'm not sure. So I will check in sometime. So I just uploaded my May planner flip through, and I cut some stickers for my Hobonichi Weeks, which is my work planner. These are monthly kits. I've got 3 of them right here. And while I was working on Silhouette and cutting out the stickers that I would actually use and putting them on one sheet to not waste ink and all that other stuff, I finished the Final Empire finally. I am giving this a 4-star. This was really, really good. I definitely was not disappointed by it. I think it lives up to the hype for sure. And I can't wait to read more within this world. I mean, the Cosmere as a whole, but also where the Mistborn series takes place, and just learn more about the magic and stuff like that. I was talking to Skylar earlier, and I told him I think I like Elantris just a little bit more. And I think it's mostly because I was pulled more into the story, and I liked all of the characters from the beginning with Elantris. Whereas this one, I did like all of the characters, but it took me a little bit longer to get to like them and kind of sort out their motives and figure out if they're good or bad. But really enjoyed this. So glad that I just powered through this. I usually listen to books on about like 1.25 speed. And I bumped this one up to 1.5 just because I had about 8 hours left, and I knew that the work I was doing today, I didn't have to, like, I could focus on listening to an audiobook while I was doing it. So I wanted to get at least 4 hours read, and I bumped up the speed just to make sure that I would get the 4 hours in, and then just ended up finishing the whole thing. And I liked it. I'm really excited for next month. I'm gonna read The Well of Ascension, which is the second book. So really looking forward to getting into that and just learning more about Vin and the Mistings and the Mistborns and all of those things. So now I only have one prompt left to finish for the OWLs, which is my Care of Magical Creatures prompt. I am on page, I read like a page and a half today. That's it. But I am halfway through page 155 of 401 in this. So I've got about an hour before bed. I'm going to read in bed, but I'm going to get some reading done now before I'm laying down and before I get too tired. Enjoying the reread of this, definitely relearning what happened in this book versus the other books and getting a good refresher on everything. So it's going well. I almost gave up last night before I even made it like 50 pages into the section I was supposed to read, but I powered through and I stayed awake, and I don't want that to happen tonight, so that's why I'm gonna go sit in the living room and read now. I should make it to page, it'll be a little more than what I'm supposed to read, about like 10 pages more, just because I want to stop at the end of the chapter. So I'm planning to finish on page 186, which is the end of chapter 23, and then I would only have that much left tomorrow. So I think I can do it. But the only way I'm going to do that is by not talking to the camera anymore and going out and sitting and reading. So that's what I'm going to go do now.
Well, she's back under my desk, but this time with good reason, because the neighbor has some time remaining on his stump grinder rental, so he is in the backyard grinding down some stumps for us, and Eva's not happy about it. Are you? But you're happy now because Mom has an electric blanket that you get to lay on, huh? And this guy just doesn't care. He just wants to be where the action is. He'd probably be happy in the yard helping right now because there's lots of little wood chippies and someone likes to eat wood. Don't you, Ronan?
Alright, so I'm not going to give an update on Rebel Spring right now since I am going to finish it tonight. I'll just give an update with my final thoughts and everything tomorrow, but I did read my section that I was supposed to last night, so I have just over 100 pages left to go. But the plan for this evening, what I'm doing right now is I am going to attempt to dry my wedding bouquet from Saturday with borax and cornmeal because I saw it on Pinterest and I want to try it. I want to try and make like a paperweight, like a globe paperweight with my flowers out of resin, and if I've got enough, I want to also make one for my mom. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like right now. So this is my bouquet. It's getting a little sad looking. It's ready to be dried or tossed. I've also got a box of borax and cornmeal. You can do this with the silica gel stuff, but our grocery store doesn't sell it in the store. You have to order it. And right now you can't order it, and Amazon was going to take too long, and these would have just been done by that time. So I think I'm going to mix both full boxes. I've got a bowl over there, and then I was going to use this Pyrex container. Most people use plastic like storage containers, and I didn't think I had any, but I just remembered there might be some empty ones in the garage. So I'm going to pull those out instead because they're going to be deeper. And the plan is that I am just going to cut the stems just right up to the base of the flower. And especially for these open lilies,
I'm gonna need more depth, but basically drying them this way will keep their shape a little bit more than obviously like pressing would. I think it's kind of the same thing too as hanging them upside down. But I'll be honest, like I love the smell of lilies. I just don't like the smell of flowers in my house because I think it's so overpowering. So I'm gonna run out to the garage really fast and see if I can grab a not full or just an empty plastic container, and then we'll get to like cutting and mixing and drying and things like that. The OWL's year 3 is officially over. And I completed all 12 of my owls that I wanted to. So last night I had just over 100 pages left of Rebel Spring, and it was the last book I needed to finish for Care of Magical Creatures, and I did it. I had most of yesterday afternoon. After I did the flower thing, we ate dinner, and then I did dishes and had the rest of the evening to read, so that was really nice. Finished this one off. It was okay. I don't think I remember this one being one of my favorites. It's got that thing that I really hate that happens where people will formulate a plan and then like as soon as they go to execute the plan, it just completely falls apart, or like the opposing person will just like destroy them. And that happened repeatedly so many times for the rebels in this book that it was just like, okay, like either give them a break or like completely wipe them out. Like no more of this fussing around of this is our new latest greatest plan and oh wait, but the king's already one ahead of us. I really don't enjoy that. It gets very redundant and very annoying, but not too bad. I gave this a 3-star rating. It was just a middle of the road for me. And now today is May 1st, which is the beginning of the Finish-a-thon, which is the readathon being hosted by my friend Darshell at Books and Planners. It's the second year of it, where the goal for the whole month of May is to finish or progress in ongoing series you have. So, like I've mentioned multiple times, I have about 12 ongoing series, and my goal is to complete 6 of those this year. So I've got a couple series that I'm really close to completing. I actually just completed my first series, which was the Paper Magician series with the Plastic Magician. So I only have 5 left to complete this year, and the goal is to get 2 or 3 done this month. So I started listening to Before by Anna Todd, which is the last book in the After series. And that's only like a 10 or 11 hour audiobook, so I should be done with that here soon. When Skylar gets home, the Fridays we don't get the kiddo. We typically spend like the first hour or two when he gets home cleaning the house. He does the bathrooms, I vacuum, sweep, and mop. So I'll be listening to more of Before when I am doing chores. So that's the audiobook I have going. And then I've got 3 physical books picked out. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. I'm either going to read Crimson Dagger Part 1 and 2, which is the prequel to the Fallen Kingdom series that follows Prince Magnus. I'm not sure if I want to get back into the Fallen Kingdom series right now or if I want to focus on other series. My other options are You Know You Love Me, which is the second book in the Gossip Girl series, or it's the third book if you count the prequel. And then I've also got Vampire Knight Volume 6, which is obviously Volume 6 of 19 for the Vampire Knight series. I think most of the series I'm close to finishing are all ones that I don't own physical books for. I think they're all ones that I plan to do audiobooks with. So just a quick recap if you didn't watch my TBR video.
The ones I'm going to focus on are After, which I have 1 book left, Fallen, which I have 3 books left, Gossip Girl, I'd like to read 3 or 4. It's like a 13-book series. Outlander, I have 1 book left. Parasol Protector, I have 2 books left. And Vampire Knight, I've got up to volume 10. I've got like 6 through 10. And then I have a gap until I hit 14. So I was thinking of reading a couple of those. I like to leave mangas for readathons and such. But Before is an audiobook for me. So is all of the Fallen books. Gossip Girl are all physical books. Outlander, I could read as a physical book, but I will get through it a lot faster if I listen to it as an audiobook. Parasol Protector are audiobooks for me, and then Vampire Knight are physical books. So the series that I'm really close to finishing are going to need to be listened to, and the ones that I'll just progress a little more in will be more of my physical reads, which is fine. So I've got Before going, and then I'll pick one of, I think I might read a contemporary. Actually, then I would have 2 contemporaries going. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see. I'll probably let you know tomorrow or maybe later today what I decide to pick up. I'm not sure what the plan is going to be when Skylar gets home after we do dinner and chores, if we're going to watch a movie or if he's going to play games. If he plays games, I might watch some TV or I might read. I'll probably save my reading though for when we crawl into bed tonight, so I don't really know what's going on right now. All I know is I've got Before going, and that'll be fine for the moment. Maybe I could do a poll on Instagram of which book to read, to pick up. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. So I'm gonna wrapping up work right now. I should turn off my computer now. And then get started on cleaning. So I will check in with you. I'll try to check in with you this evening once I know what my plans are looking like. So hopefully I do that right after this.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So I decided to pick up the Gossip Girl book last night, and I'm about 40 pages in. So I'm currently reading 2 contemporaries at one time, which is not very typical for me because I'm not a big contemporary reader. But decided on that one. I had a couple people vote on the question I put in my Instagram stories. Most of them were spam though. And basically Darshell was the only one who really voted. So, and someone else, but it was after I had already picked up the book and they both said Gossip Girl. So there's that. You saw it yesterday that I was taking apart a poncho that had a sheep on it. It was for an ugly Christmas sweater a couple years back, and I want to use the yarn to make a blanket, so I took it apart and have started. I'm only like 7 rows in, so I'll show you my progress on that as I go. But I got 2 yarn balls about that size and then a couple smaller ones. So that'll be my project for the next probably like a week or so. And then today, the big project that Sky is doing is finally putting in the floor that goes in my office closet, so that way all the flooring will be done. So, whoop, there we go. That's the last little bit of carpet left in this house, and it's about to not be in the house anymore. So that's today's project, and I also at some point need to make thank you cards for the people who helped with our wedding last weekend. And I want to print some Hobo Weeks kits for June and July that I had purchased off Etsy. So I'll get to that eventually. I also am on the hunt for a good no-bake cookie recipe, because Skylar came home yesterday talking about how someone had brought in no-bake cookies at work, and now I really want to make some. And I could just go to Pinterest and get a recipe, but I want one from friends that have like tried it and it's like a fan favorite. So I put a post on Facebook asking if people would share their recipe. So at some point I'm gonna run to the store today and pick up what I need. I also need another box of borax. They were out yesterday to finish covering my flowers to let them dry. So quite a few things on the list today, but it's gonna be a very accomplished feeling once we get to it all. So I will show you progress along the way.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Just filmed 2 videos and I'm gonna get to editing those now in this vlog. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. It's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but dinner's in the oven, and I think we'll probably watch an episode or 2 of The Sopranos tonight as we eat. So I'm pretty much not going to be reading anything else. I was listening to more of Before. We were outside. I might have shown you, I don't remember if I did at this point, that my neighbor had time left on a stump grinder. So he offered to grind down the stumps that we had in our yard. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So today, before it started to rain, Skylar wanted to mow, and so I picked up the chips, I guess you could call them, and put them in a pile so that we can take them over to my brother's house maybe like next weekend or the weekend after and burn them. But I did that and was listening to Before while I was in the yard, and also while I was doing my hair and makeup, so that I could film. And I've got probably like 2.5 to 3 hours left. This is basically after, which was the first book, told from Hardin's point of view. I don't think we're really getting anything new. It's just being in his head and his kind of like explanation and justification and his like thought process for how his side of his interaction with Tessa initially went. I liked After the most out of all of these books, even though I recognize that it's completely toxic and just not good. So it's nice to be back in that storyline, since I feel like the rest of the books just went downhill. But I don't think it's necessary, especially if you don't really like Hardin as a character. Just to be in his head is just, you know, more dirty thoughts of Tessa and getting her to cheat and all that other stuff. I mean, not getting her to cheat because she obviously made the choice to cheat, but whatever. So I'll definitely have this wrapped up tomorrow, which will be nice because then I'll have my second series complete and I'll only have 4 left for the rest of the year, which I'll need the rest of the year since it took me 4 months just to finish 1 series. But yeah, I think so far I've had a good reading week. I finished 1, 2, 3, I finished 3 books. And so I'll have 2 books to roll over to next week. I'll have Before by Anna Todd, and then I'll have You Know You Love Me by Cicely von Ziegler. So both should be really quick. I'm also, I think, starting the buddy read for Vanishing Hour by Lisa King next week with Eric at Breakeven Books and 2 other people. I'm actually supposed to get a page or chapter breakdown today and send that over to Eric so that we can start Monday, but I haven't done that yet, so that's another thing I'm gonna do. But yeah, I would just love to know how the last couple of days of the OWL's Magical Readathon went for you, if you accomplished all your reading plans, if you didn't participate in the OWLs, just what you picked up for April, if we've by chance read any of the same books. I always love to know your thoughts and if they're similar to mine or different. So please do let me know all of the bookish things or just how you're doing in general down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!